Here's Johnny.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Why so serious? Yippee-ki-yay.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
And like that, he's gone.
Can you make money with a web series? First off, the answer is yes. Now, the reason this question is coming up at all is because of a new special series of podcast episodes that I will be doing that will not be available to the public, but only to a special group of people that have decided to become patrons of Guerrilla Film School. Now, trying to have a side project while working full-time in film is very hard. At this point, I spend more hours on administrative things that are required to keep the business going than I actually spend time creating content. And let's be honest, the fun part of this for both you and for me is the content. So in order to free up some of my time and allow me to work on creating content and actually giving you information that you want and need in order to further your film career, I need to hire a virtual executive assistant. Now, this person would be running the back end of my business and give me the bandwidth to focus on creating great content and tools that can help you on a more in-depth level. So with this goal in mind, I've started a Patreon page. This is where you can go to support Guerrilla Film School financially by becoming a patron. You can do this for as little as $10 per month. And what do you get in exchange for being a patron? Now, this is where things really get fun. So anyone who becomes a patron at the lowest tier of just $10 a month will get access to a special private Q&A episode of the Guerrilla Film School podcast. Once a month, I will answer 3 or 4 of my patrons' questions about filmmaking, acting, the entertainment industry, or really anything that I'm qualified to talk about in a very detailed way. So if you like reading these emails or listening to these podcast episodes, this should be of interest to you, because instead of pointing you to another resource that I've created or an article that I found online somewhere, I'm going to be answering some very specific questions that other members of the Guerrilla Film School community have asked of me. Very specific, actionable advice to relevant questions about filmmaking or acting for a $10 a month commitment. Now, maybe you are someone who has some specific film industry questions of your own that you would like to have answered. Maybe you're stuck on something, or maybe you don't know how to get started, or maybe you have a really specific question about how to do something in front of or behind the camera. If you fall into this category, you could choose to become a patron at the slightly higher commitment of $25 a month. And every month, you can submit one of your specific questions into the question pool for me to answer. I'll choose between 3 and 4 questions every month, and I'm limiting this level of patronage to only 10 people. So that means that even if I sell out all 10 spots at this level, there is still a 4 in 10 chance that your question will be the one that I answer on that month's episode. So 40% are pretty good odds. And that's only if I actually sell out all 10 spots at that level. If only 4 people take me up on this, that means your odds just jumped up to 100%. Which means that every month, you get to submit a question to me, and there's somewhere between a 40% and 100% chance that your question will be one of the ones that I answer. And of course, there is a third tier. If you support Guerrilla Film School with a $50 a month commitment, I guarantee that your question will be one of the 4 that are answered every month. And this is, of course, limited to just 4 people. So there are several different ways to support Guerrilla Film School in this fun new adventure, depending on whether or not you want to be a voyeur or an active participant in this monthly orgy of filmmaking knowledge. At any level, you're getting something special from me once a month, either in the form of this special podcast episode or me being your personal monthly consultant that is answering your specific questions about filmmaking and acting and giving you the real advice that you need. So back to the original question. Can you make money with a web series? Yes. And I can tell you how. And this is just one example of the infinite number of questions that I'm qualified to answer for you. If this is something that floats your boat, learn more and choose your tier on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Guerrilla Film School. Remember, if you want to learn how to make better films and act on camera, Guerrilla Film School has got you covered. We put together a free training video on how directors and actors can work together on set. You can get instant access to this free training right now by going to guerrillafilmschool.com/training.